What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wheel Talk. So today is July 3rd. It's 1 o'clock and the weather outside is 66 degrees where I'm at right now. I'm currently en route back home doing Scooby-Doo, and I'm just checking in on how things are going. I was able to pick up another customer. So the good thing is this customer wants weekly service along with spraying and scooping. So that's $40 per week with the spraying, which is about $160, and then plus taxes or whatever. And that brings my total to I think it's around 6 customers that I got that are regular, reoccurring. The average ticket price is about $130 per customer. Yeah, I'm sitting at my hourly rate based on the number of customers and how long it takes me is about $32 an hour. And you know, that'll increase once I get my density up, but we'll see. Pretty much I'm trying to build density in this like kind of wealthier area, more affluent area. And the way that I'm doing that is by just targeting my ads in like these 3 specific, probably like in like a 5-mile radius between 3 cities. Yeah, so I mean, that's like an additional customer. I'm only paying $20 per day on Facebook ads, but I'm thinking about increasing that to $50 per day. Another thing, so what I did, because I have my minivan, so this is an older Dodge Grand Caravan, and with this vehicle, it has kind of like all glass windows. You'll see a lot of the newer minivans, they'll have pillars between each door, and so it's not like a big slab of glass. But for this one, it's like when I get outside, I'll show you a video when I get to the next house. I'm gonna show you how the new window signs look. Let me just make sure. So you see, I have the cargo carrier on top, and I wash it every week too, so that, you know, you want to appear nice, clean, and professional. And then on the inside, I've got the camper, but no one can really see that because the windows are tinted. But that's kind of how the setup is. Up top is all the scooping supplies, and then on bottom, or you know, I got the camper on the inside, the advertisement. The only thing I forgot to mention during the initial shoot of this video is that now I can't really park on campus anymore where I was parking at school, because now I'm not so discreet. Now that I'm like, Scooby-Doo, like, why is this person over here? You know, that's a reason for the cops to pull me over. But what I did, I came in on Friday, but I came in at like midnight, so 1 in the morning. It's like, if I have the energy and I can't sleep, I'm gonna come in, because like I'm gonna have to come in anyways. I might as well do it while I'm still awake and there's no traffic, versus coming in at like 5, 6 in the morning and I'm dealing with an hour and a half, 2 hours of traffic. So I came in, and there's a couple of spots nearby campus that I know where I could park. There was this one street where you're like right next to the cars, so they'll shake your car as they're flying by. The good thing about that is that there's not too many, it's not such a busy street, but when they do come by, they are coming close to your car. So 1, they could potentially hit you, and then 2, they could also wake you up from shaking your car, and then you also hear them flying by. There's also another place where I actually parked, which is, there's like a main road. So like you have your main street where traffic is going pretty fast, and then there's like a residential street, so you could still see the main street. Anyways, I parked there last night, and so it's also more discreet in that situation, because it's like I'm just parking in a neighborhood. You know, this is someone's service vehicle, so it's a lot more believable in that situation. So it is pretty stealth, so I wasn't really worried about that. The only thing that I was worried about is the noise. But I wasn't even worried about getting hit by a car, because it was a residential street. It's a lot more, people are not even driving on the street that much, and then if they are, they're driving like pretty slow. But yeah, that's pretty much it for what I wanted to show you on the outside. It's basically just like a perfect area for a billboard. And so that's what I did. I went on Vistaprint. So I have an updated logo. I had my original logo design, which is kind of like right here on the shirt. Then I sent that logo design into the company that I used to make me yard signs. They redid the logo just to optimize it for yard signs, and it looked way better, like way more professional. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna make my own version of their version. So I took because I designed my own character and everything, so it's pretty simple what they did. I'm pretty sure they just used AI. Long story short, I pretty much copied their logo that they made for me. And then what you could do is go to Vistaprint, and you could get like this window cling where it's like removable adhesive for like logos, and you could do a custom die cut. And so they have certain sizes. So this one's probably like 4 feet by 3 feet. And so what I did was I went to Canva and I flipped my logo back to back. So in the middle is the base of the logo, and then like if this is the head of the dog, it's like mirrored. And so I paid for 2 of these, which are 4 feet long by like 3 feet wide. But when I cut it down the middle, it's going to be 4 feet long by 1.5 feet wide. And so that's what I did. So I paid for 2 of those, and I got 4 logos. So for this minivan, I put one on the rear window and on both of the side windows, but it spans across the middle row door window and the all the way rear door window on both sides. And then the back one, it just fits going across the whole window. Then I had one extra, so I put that on my other minivan, and I'm just going to keep it there, kind of like as an incentive to get my name out there. And also, like, if we're driving around, people will see different vehicles, and they're like, oh, they must be doing all right. They got multiple vehicles that they're using for the business or whatever. I don't know, just perceptions or whatever. And also, because it's not so easy to take on and off like a magnet for a car, it's kind of like more incentive for me to like keep it on and just, not be discreet with it. And, I'm commuting a lot. And so it's a big opportunity for a lot of people to get eyes on my business. I'm pretty proud of how it looked, how it turned out. It looks like pretty professional. And like I said, when I tinted these 2 windows, pretty much I'm able to apply a lot of the different skills that I've learned. So for example, I was cutting sheetrock over the weekend for a side project, and there's that little like T measuring tool that's like square. I use that to cut perfectly straight line down the middle for these window decals. And then to apply the decals, I use the same method that I used to apply the tint. So, I feel like everything looks good and professional. It looks like all buttoned up. But yeah, so I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy that I was able to pick up another customer. And we'll see how adjusting the ad spend. Also, I created some more photos, so I'm going to do some more A/B testing. Because to be honest, I'm not getting a good response rate, but at least I'm getting my name out there, because people are every once in a while messaging. And it's the people like who are like, the downside of that customer is they have 4 dogs, the new customer. But the upside is they don't care. The guy was like $40 to scoop and spray, sign me up, and then gave me his information, called it a day. Another thing, that one of my customers, she has a whole bunch of animals. She has 3 dogs, and she has birds and fish and cats, and turtles. It's like a damn zoo over there. But with that customer, she has these I think they're macaws. They're like a teal bird. They're pretty big. They're pretty birds. But she wanted me to pick up their waste as well. And I told her I could do it for $10 a week extra. So she's already paying like $150 a week. So she's going to be at $190 a week. $190 per month. So $150 per month before taxes. Then she's going to be at $190. So she's going to be around $200 just for that one customer. So I guess it kind of shows you the fact that, people are willing to pay if they value the service. And yeah, I'm proud that I was able to build a business where, I look reputable and people are willing to trust me on their properties, and then it's not a question about do I trust this person? They've seen me in my ads. They've seen me talk to the camera. They know who I look like. They know how I'll show up. And so it takes time to build that rapport with customers, but I'm pretty happy that I was able to even get people to see the value in the service that you offer, and they're willing to pay me for that service, which is pretty cool. It's like a sense of pride that I'm able to generate. All the money that I'm making is going right back into the business, so I haven't touched any of it, but still, eventually one day, hopefully I could start acquiring more customers to where I could, who knows, even go to that full time. But yeah, this is just a quick check-in just to see how the business is doing. I also just wanted to make a video comparing the audio with using the headphones compared to just using my speakers for my phone. But that's it for this one. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share our hype if you have one. I'll catch you all in the next one.